messages find you in good health and good wealth and good spirits. This is going to be your daily message for May 1st. Okay, it's general. It's not going to resonate with everyone, and that's okay. There's plenty of other content on this channel as well as YouTube as a whole. Take what applies and leave the rest if, in fact, any of it even applies, okay? This message is not any particular area, not geared towards any particular sign, all right? It's general daily message, May 1st. I trust that the strongest message that needs to come out will. Let's get started. Right away, I'm seeing a path with an X through it. This could mean a couple of things. Oh, also, we channel here, so we don't get even most of our information from the cards. But anyway, I'm seeing a path with an X through it. So this may, it may be a situation where some of you are questioning your path. You may have come to a crossroads on your path. And you may be now coming to a realization that the path you've been on is not necessarily meant for you. Okay. Positive, uplifting new friends. That's a number 10. You will not let fear stop you this time. Reconsider your alliances and make new connections. 14, 26. So you've got 1, 8, and 5. Yeah. So it is basically all the things that I said. You're on a path. Again, it's going to resonate for any particular person in possibly a different way. But most of you are, realizing that you're on this path and you may need to cut some things out. You may need to cut some things away. You may notice things trying to fall away. We take responsibility for that. We take accountability for that. And we continue on to make new friends, new alliances. And we're not going to let fear stop us on whatever path we feel is right for us. Okay? The Akashic libraries are open. Now, if you've been working with me for a while, you know I have some different opinions on the Akashic records than a lot of readers out here. A lot of them will tell you they're very skilled in the Akashic records. They will offer Akashic readings, Akashic, however you choose to say it, for, upwards of $500, $300 a spread. They sort of portray it as this particular place and library where all information is stored and only so many people or whatever are gifted enough or in tune enough to access. I just don't feel that way. It actually took me quite a while to even figure out what they were talking about, because for someone who's born into this, I know what I know, but I did not know how to convey it to people because I did not understand the language or the labels that people had assigned to many of these things. So if I'm correct in what they are speaking about, it is not like a place where you go and sort of pull information. It's also not a place that only few people are able to go to. There's also no reason why it should cost that amount of money to get an Akashic reading. The Akashic library is and has always been everything. And that is because time is honestly an illusion. It really doesn't exist as we know it. So that means that everything is continuously happening. The past, the present, and the future are all happening simultaneously. And many of your ancient civilizations and even religions and belief systems knew this and taught this. Again, not in that language, not with that title, not with that label, but this was taught. So because it is forever and always, because it is the past, the present, and the future, in your own space, you have complete access to that whenever you access energy as a whole. Okay, it just depends on what particular point of origin you would like to access. But what I am seeing here as is that someone, or maybe many of you, has possibly been scared of their gifts in the past. Maybe not even scared of their gifts for themselves. It could be that they were scared to convey these gifts to others. Could be scared that they were, they were scared to come out of the so-called, spiritual closet, is what I like to call it, because a lot of times we're drawn to these things and we realize that we have gifts. We realize that we have the gift of sight, the gift of prophecy, maybe a gift to speak to the dead. Maybe we have a gift to jump time. We realize we can possibly bend air. We can bend fire. We can do these things. We can, use our gifts to tap into energy, to get information, all of these things. To come out and say that to people, to come out and discuss this with people can be a very scary thing because of the way that it is looked at amongst mainstream belief systems and religions. Okay, I do see someone, and that could be what I'm seeing with this path and this X in it. We're possibly looking at someone who has tried to follow some sort of a mainstream path and now sees that they have many different places and areas that they can go, that they can jump around in, that they can cross to. Okay, I do believe that it's more open to you because you now, for whatever reason, are more open to it. Okay. And 7. 1, 8, and you got this, the 8 is infinite. Okay, and then 7, 4 of Swords in the reverse position. It's definitely time to act. I don't think we're in this really thoughtful resting period anymore. Some of you may be a little bit more active is what another thing I'm seeing here. Somebody's more active in someone's realized that their dream state is not necessarily their dream state. They've realized that they're actually traveling. They've realized that they're actually, going to different dimensions, playing around possibly in the astral or hyperspace even for some of you, and you've become more active in this space. A lot of times, when I realized I could differentiate who was supposed to be there and who was thinking they were dreaming. When you walk around in some of those realms and some of those planes, you'll see some people look more robotic. They look a little bit more zombie. They almost look like they're sleepwalking. They're very I don't know honestly the word for it other than what I've described. They believe that they are dreaming when they're actually traveling, but they're unaware of it, and that's why they look like that. So what we're seeing here is someone, or even again many of you, possibly many more of you, something's opening up, and this could be just the time of the year. I'm not sure where planets are aligned. You may want to go look at the astrology. I don't really do that. I read energy. I know a little bit about a little bit, but I don't study enough and pay close enough attention to really recite much of it. But something's opening up and people are becoming more aware of their abilities. They're becoming more aware also that they have been traveling. They're very active in that meditative space. You see someone sees someone coming. You may not know what they look like in appearance or flesh, but I get the feeling you either called in an energy or you've seen an energy coming. Someone here reads tea leaves also. Okay, 9 of Cups. Yeah, you know what you want and you're going to go after it. And not in a selfish way, but it's not always bad to be selfish, or what people deem as selfish anyways, right? We have to do things for ourselves. Okay, the will. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Something's opened up. This is very faded. This is very when the stars align type of energy that I'm looking at here. You've got soulmates, and even like I'm hearing kindred spirits coming through for you at this time. And I think you need it, you know, possibly now more than ever. Also, I'm looking at someone here. Wow, I didn't expect to go this deep. I'm looking at someone here who is experiencing walk-ins. So like, let's, for example, let's say you've been dealing with a person and you really love them and you met them and they were a certain way and you just kind of clicked and you knew there was something about them. Let's say you remember past lives with them, or you even just feel this strong spiritual connection. Maybe they're a soulmate, if that's the title you want to use. Some of you use the twin flame title. Really not into that either, especially the way that it's been sort of corrupted. But it's you've been dealing with a person like this and you've seen them change. You've seen them almost, if you could imagine, walk in and out of themselves. You're dealing with a walk-in. You're dealing with a person that's given up and come back. I don't know what's going on there, but I feel like it's not necessarily them about to evolve. It is them about to receive another walk-in that is better fit for you. And it could just be a higher version of themselves, or it could be a different entity or being altogether that is going to walk in. And this happens all the time. Again, depending on how you believe and how deep you want to go. Probably another reading for, that's probably more leaning towards the real shit message, but I didn't do one of those today, so we're just reading what comes through. Okay, the Empress, again, you're seeing, you know, you're seeing who is and is not meant for you, your highest good and your highest state of creation as well. Major transformation and change coming through. And I think this is part of this is someone stepping into their truest nature. Okay, the Devil in the reverse. Part of this is someone stepping into their truest nature, their truest self, their gift. Two of Wands here, by the way. We'll go over all that. And that is going to allow people to fall away naturally as well, because there's going to be people that don't really agree with your ways. A lot of them think just because you have natural gifts that you are a witch, or you're demonic, or you're satanic, or whatever this, I get like a real negative feeling from these outside forces. And so that, you know, the change in you is just going to allow them to fall away just very easily. It's not going to be hard to continue to walk on, because you're going to meet more people. You're going to meet like-minded people. Okay, the more you detach from this place. Now, again, remember, for those of you that are a little bit newer in this way of life, or this walk, it can be very easy to go too far one way or the other. It can be very easy to go too far off into the other realms and divination and dabbling into energies and portals and manipulating energies and things like this, and then you can go too far the other way and stay too grounded and not tap into your gifts or utilize those gifts too much. Remember, it's all about balance. Okay, we came here for a reason. We came here for many reasons, again, depending on how deep you want to get. But one of the main reasons that we came here, and the reason that we built the construct even as a whole, was to experience finite life. At least that's my personal gnosis and experience from what I've learned over several lifetimes, including this one. We came here to experience mortality. We came here to experience things through human flesh as only this vessel can experience it, okay? And we taste different, we touch different, we feel different, we have different sort of emotional states, we have different connections and family ties and responsibilities, and we are born, we grow, and we die. These are things that we came here to experience, and with that comes the experience of pleasure, okay? The experience of pain. And so it's important that we don't, because I absolutely hate it when people refer to themselves as like this meat suit that they wear. The human vessel is so beautiful, and you chose it for a reason, and that is because it's so beautiful and you can have so many beautiful experiences through it. So understand, and I think whoever is doing this is kind of on that crossroads of understanding. You may have even been going down a path way to this way or way to that way. And now you can see like how everything with that X sort of intertwines and connects, and how all the paths and roads cross, because I am seeing it directly in the middle of that path. So I think that's really beautiful, and I see someone that's, sort of kind of working these things out within their own life. Remember, we need this and we need that. It's about balance. You can't have too much of anything. If any of you go really, really far, if you're resonating with this and you go super far into your spiritual gifts, and let's say you travel, let's say you astral travel, let's say you jump time, let's say you you maybe even have medicine journeys, or not, just say you go into deep states of meditation, where you tap into other things and manipulate things from your mind. You will understand that whenever you are so far that way, you can't even use divination tools. They don't make sense to you. You're far, like you're far too lifted. Okay, your frequency is way too high to even function on the three-dimensional plane. Okay, and that's when we have to, and it's good for some things, but it's not good to do all the time. And I think this is what we're seeing here. We're seeing someone sort of detach from whatever the possessiveness is that was possessing themselves, essentially. Okay, we're seeing someone go through what I believe, what I'm looking at, is an absolute beautiful transformation. Yeah. Yeah, see, they're gaining moderation. This person is gaining moderation. They're trying to figure out how to bring their highest self here and maintain it, okay? They're going into uncharted territory. They've been hurt. They're hurting from people walking away from them. They're trying to figure out the balance of their highest self, their high priestess energy, and their lower self, their empress energy, their queen or king energy, their emperor, the emperor and the empress here in the reverse position. Someone is just trying to figure out the balance. It's the name of the game, okay? They're just trying to figure out. They're placing, I'm seeing someone place their little weights on this balance beam, and there's several of them over here, there's several of them over here, all different weights. It's almost like a game. They are, taking this weight from over here and putting it over here, and then that tips it a little bit to this much, and then maybe they push this one out a little bit and then take this one and put it over here, and now it's still not even, but it's way more even than it was, right? And so, okay, so we're getting closer, and then they're like, okay, well, maybe if I take these two and put them over here, and then take this one that's heavier and put it over here, well, now it's much closer, but it's still a little off kilter. So this is what I'm seeing here. I'm seeing someone really do the work of figuring out a balance for their own life. And again, I think it's absolutely beautiful. And part of how they're doing this is opening up this Akashic record. So once again, to my point that you don't have to, let me take this opportunity. You don't have to have somebody, charging you $500, $300 for a 30-minute Akashic record reading, or even an hour Akashic record reading. This is a little bit hard for me to say because I don't believe in titles. So if you see me as a reader, you may see me as a reader today because I'm reading for you. You see me as a channeler. You see me as an oracle. You see me as, possibly for those of you that work with me on other levels, maybe you see me as a shaman. Maybe you see me as an angel. Maybe for those of you that work with me in other areas, maybe you see me as a healer. Others may see me as, we're not going to say that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Whatever you see me as is what you see me as, a spiritual advisor, whatever. People like me, and maybe people like you, and other people that you deal with that maybe, somehow do something for you on another plane, another realm. We are here to create bridges. Okay. That is what we do. We do not do the work for you. And eventually we hope to get you to a point where you no longer need us, at least all the time. You may need us for something else, further along in the journey. And of course, I have people that, higher up that I go to, not often, but I do. And, higher up in their spiritual walk, people come to me, not often, but it does happen. But what we are doing here is trying to get you to what very much this reading looks like. A higher space where you no longer need the tools, where you no longer need the middleman, so to speak, where you understand everything is within and you utilize this from within. Okay, yourself. You go into your own Akashic records. You read your own energy. You manipulate your own energy. You manifest on your own. You heal from within on your own. You do these things. Again, we are here to create bridges. We are here to instill knowledge and even direct traffic, okay? We're here for a lot of things, but as far as working with other people, that's one of the main things that we do here. So if you find yourself consistently going back, and I don't mean, so like I've been working with some clients for years, but every time they come back to me, they're far more evolved than they were when we started or even from the previous thing. Some people just have a lot more to get through. There's maybe a lot more trauma there. Some people came back with a lot more of their past life memories that they never, got the trauma released and healed from even that, and then sold off into other horrible things as a child here. So there's a lot of work to do, but you should always be making progress. Okay. You should never continuously go over the same thing. You should never go back and ask about the same person. Oh, is this going to work out? Like, is this, what is he doing now? Is he cheating on me? That should not be 3, 4, 5 readings in a row. Okay. You should be gaining from the people that you work with tools and confidence to go forward in yourself. So I don't know why I'm saying I do. I'm being told to kind of tell you this because I feel like someone's at a cross point in the road where they are ready to jump out on their own, at least in some areas and aspects, but they're a little bit fearful. For whatever reason, they feel like they still need the middleman. They still need I'm hearing the gatekeeper. Maybe in some areas you do, but in a lot of them you don't. You should have come far removed from that. You should be doing a lot of that on your own at this point, okay? Because we want to get you to a point where you don't need candles, where you don't need oils, where you don't need cards, where you don't need bones, where you don't need these things. These things are amazing. They're an amazing point of focus. They're an amazing tool. They're amazing for what they are, but we get you to a point where you don't need someone else to go to spirit for you. You don't need someone else to pray on your behalf. You don't need someone else to heal you. You don't need someone else to awaken you. You don't need someone else to activate you. You don't need someone else to read you. You don't need someone, okay? That's where we're trying to get you. And if you happen to be working with a person that you don't feel like is taking you to that level, you might want to reconsider what you're doing, okay? So that's what I have for you today. I hope this message helped someone. Let me know how you liked it in the comment section below, and I will see you tomorrow.